Deer Valley Tower, experimental 902 Alpha Lima, number 17 left.
75600, left turn is approved.
Left turn approved, 75600.
Experimental 902 limit, 2 Alpha Lima, runway 7 left, clear for takeoff.
2 Alpha Lima, cleared for takeoff. We'll see you in a little bit.
Roger.
Like a bird on a tree, I'm just sitting here. I got time, it's clear to see. From up here, the world seems small. We can sit together.
And
so
we're off.
Beautiful. You and me, we're meant to be in the great outdoors.
There's 1,000 feet a minute, Carl. That's the outside air temperature right now at 99 degrees Fahrenheit. And holy crap, it's only 6:30 in the morning.
902 Alpha Lima, left turn northeast bound approved.
2 Alpha Lima, northwest turn, approved, northeast.
Sometimes you need to go, take a step back.
Right now I'm climbing at 900 to 1,000 feet a minute, 94 miles an hour forward airspeed.
Distance you can take.
I feel most comfortable flying at about, for climb out, about 90. Keeps my engine temperatures where they're supposed to be. I can see over the nose, not bogging down the engine at all. It just plain seems to like this for climbing out. I can climb much more aggressively if I need to, but why?
Meant to be in the great outdoors, forever free.
So I'm at pattern altitude. I'm less than 1 minute in the air. Actually, 400 feet above pattern altitude now. Right there is 900 feet a minute. This is about...
Good morning, Deer Valley Tower. Here is
best I'm looking
122
to
Golf,
get.
7 left, ready to go northbound.
And the higher I go, as everyone will know.
6122 Golf, runway 7 left, clear for takeoff.
Clear for takeoff, 22 Golf.
Turbo boost would certainly help. Boy, it is hot out this morning, and it is still early. So, anybody who might be watching, happy 4th of July! Now I'm only climbing at about 800 feet a minute, 700, 800 feet a minute. My forward speed is 93 miles per hour, not knots. It's about what I would expect to see. We're going to take it up to 4,500, let all those sleeping people down there sleep. Wave to the camera. Hello!
Search 22 Golf, left turn on course approved.
Left turn approved, 22 Golf, thanks.
Deer Valley Tower, 75600, request frequency change.
75600, for change approved, see you later.
Frequency approved, day 75600.
Happy 4th of July, everybody.
Everything is in the green and looking good. Cylinder head temperatures are great. Oil pressure is great. Oil temperature is great. Fuel flow is great. EGTs are good. Fuel flow is a little high, but I'm climbing. Would expect it. All you guys who say you're getting 4.5 gallons an hour in these airplanes, how? If I throttle back to 2100 RPM, I'll get there. But I also have to fly with the super high nose attitude to stay there and going slow. Gotta be kidding. There's no traffic out here this morning except the one guy who's exactly in my path. So we're going to do a little 360. Let him get out in front of us so I can just enjoy this flight. There's a nice 30-degree bank turn. With a slow climb, which is intentional. So Cloud Ahoy, when you fail me on this turn, you can kiss my Royal Canadian mounted butt. Let's roll out of that turn. And that guy that was in my way is now gone. And we'll level off here. I went a little bit through my altitude. Dial this back to 2450 RPM. My fuel flow at 2430 RPM will stay at about 6.6 per hour. Let's go ahead and bring this back to 2350. This will slow me down a little bit. Only going to do about 110 to 150 miles per hour at this RPM setting. But this will also get me under 6 gallons an hour. I can cruise at 125, 130, but the fuel payoff is high. And in these wonderful days of COVID-19, resources are tight, so we're going to fly slow. Than usual. I lost 100 feet there. One thing about these 650s, they are twitchy on their altitude. I have autopilot and I can turn it on and it'll hold altitude within 20 feet. But darn, that's boring. The thing is, this plane will gain and lose 100 feet at the bat of an eye if you're not actively flying it. Even trimmed up. More like a sports car than a station wagon. Although I think anybody flying something like an RV-8 might laugh at me calling this airplane a sports car. But hey, she fits like a sports car. I got that 100 feet back in less than 5 seconds, 10 seconds. See who might be out in the practice area. And I just gained that 100 feet that I've lost. So, minus 100, plus 100. Airplane is flying super smooth right now.
Northwest practice area, 983, Juliet Alpha, 4,500, just departed Deer Valley, head to the north cruising ground, northwest.
Hey, good morning, Northeast Practice Area, Experimental 902 Alpha Lima. I'm over here by the Boulders Golf Courses, 5,500 feet, flying due east right now, just enjoying this beautiful Independence Day morning. Greatest country God ever put on the face of Earth.
Northeast Practice Area, Aviator 77 is over the campgrounds at 3,000 feet doing ground reference maneuvers. Happy 4th of July, everybody. Northeast.
Happy 4th.
Oh, beautiful for spacious skies. So I don't know.
Northwest practice area, Aerosol 907, 2 miles southeast of substation 4,500, fly heading north proving ground, northwest.
Okay. Going to drop 1,000 feet, fly east to west as opposed to west to east. Adjust my mixture here, lean us out a little bit. So here I am at 2100 RPM. Oh, I'm only burning 3.5 gallons an hour. I can hold altitude here, but I'd be going slow if I do. But right now, since we're headed downhill, I still have 110 miles an hour indicated airspeed. True airspeed 125. For what that's worth. Ground speed is 111, which tells me there's virtually no wind. Which, based on some, now I don't see anything to give me ground indications of wind this morning. So right below me is Carefree Sky Ranch. It's a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful private airport. If I had a few more shekels in the bank, I would love to buy a house, get access to that private runway. Looking at a minimum price tag, $1.5 million. Realistically, closer to $2.5 million. I don't think too many of the people down there have Zeniths parked in their hangars. I think you're going to see much more of the Bonanza and Cirrus crowd. Right now, down to 4,500 feet. Hello again, world.
Northwest practice area, Arizona 4589, 5,000, climb to 5,500 feet, fly direct to the Steel River waypoint, and I will do some maneuvers northwest.
Total structure, Arizona 6 is correct, 0 miles north of the substation. At 5,700, climbing 8,500 northwest on Central Sector.
Northeast-west proving ground, experimental 902 Alpha Lima. Just flew over Carefree Sky Ranch. I'm now headed due west, 4,500 feet. I'm going to head over to the Lake Pleasant area. And nobody really cares, but that's what I'm doing.
I care.
Boy, is my airplane flying nice this morning. And there is not a bump out there. This is like flying in a sheet of glass. So right now I'm trimmed up pretty well. I have to stay on the rudder. Maybe give it just a bump of right trim. It is amazing in these airplanes how sensitive the trim is. I mean, I have trim on my hi-hat, and all I have to do is bump it, and I'll get a decent amount of feedback. But look, Bob, no hands. No hands! And you know, right now I'm climbing at about 100 feet a minute, so just give it a bump of down nose trim, but then the problem is I start descending at 90 feet a minute. So finding that sweet spot can be a little challenging. But right now I've got the ball dead center. So for the first 100 or so hours I was flying this plane, I could have sworn my right wing was heavy because I had to trim it out so I wasn't constantly fighting a right-hand turn. Right after my first biannual in this airplane, my flight instructor was basically really on me about staying coordinated and keeping the ball centered. And you know, I've always tried to keep the ball centered, but not like perfectly centered.
Northwest Factor, SS 983 Juliet Alpha, 4,500 over the north cruising ground, steep turn northwest.
It's like if the ball is between the two lines, then you're coordinated, right? Well, not quite so much. It's almost like having a level, and if you're off by a little bit, you're off by a little bit. And I really found that the more I kind of hyper-focused on staying coordinated, the less right trim that I needed. So basically telling me that the uncoordinated flight was what was making me feel like I wasn't, or my right wing was heavy. The odd thing about that, though, is I was really never, and I'm still never, left wing heavy at all. So, for anyone who's listening, take that for what it's worth. Probably not worth much. So right now I'm 2,500 RPM. My ground speed is 123. My air speed is 125. My true air speed is 141 miles an hour. So, I'm going to dial this back just a little bit. Trim it out. Oh, man, my EGTs are actually pretty good. I'm fairly well leaned here. Going to lean it out just a little bit more. So back down to 2330 RPM. I did lose a couple hundred feet of altitude while I was sitting there talking. So let's get that back. That probably explains for that excessive airspeed. Excessive. Higher than what I thought airspeed. Get her back up to 4,500. Looking across the airplane and to the north, you can see the plateaus. Not quite sure what they're called, but they're plateaus. From here, they look like they're just like somebody cut the tops off the mountains with a giant knife, because they're just flat. At about my 1 o'clock, those are the Bradshaw Mountains. You got to get over 8,000 feet to get over those if you want to go over the highest point.
Northwest, Project Area, Aerosonde 907. We're 1 mile north of South Proving Ground. Fly heading north to North Proving Ground, 4,500 northwest.
Northwest Practice Area, Experimental 902 Alpha Lima. I'm flying east to west, coming up over I-17 on the north side of Lake Pleasant. We're going to head right over Lake Pleasant, do a 360, and then head back to Deer Valley, 2 Alpha Lima.
Northwest Practice Area, Aerosonde 6 arriving over the North Proving Grounds at 8,500 feet. Going to be setting up a new stall and then spin training at 8,500 feet over the North Proving Grounds, Northwest Practice Area.
So directly in front of me is Lake Pleasant. This is a man-made lake. Great lake. Short for water skiing. A lot of fun on a jet ski. A lot of fun to swim on. On the long 3-day weekends, you see a lot of people out here on boats. A lot of pretty girls wearing bikinis. A lot of old guys like me looking at the girls in the bikinis. Of course, I haven't been to Lake Pleasant in about 10 years. Maybe not that long. Took my daughter out here jet skiing one time. Oh my God, we had so much fun. I don't think I've ever seen a smile as big on her face as that day. Just watching her go full throttle, speeding across the water. So much fun. What's really strange is the lake is full. I mean, it is looks like it's almost at full capacity, and I can't remember the last time it rained here in Phoenix. Now, this lake is not really fed by the rainfall in Phoenix. It takes the snow melt from up north, and whatever's happening up north feeds down here. And that's what fills this lake up. But it's been a very dry, late spring. We had a wet winter, but boy, that lake is full. I've seen it scary low before. A lot of people out there right now practicing their social distancing. This cove right down, not sure if you can see it with the wing, but down here, this is where all the kids like to go party. If this were a normal year on the 4th of July, there'd be more boats out here than you could count. But things are still pretty strange here in Arizona.
Northwest practice area, altitude 231 at 6,500 feet, just coming over Marstown. We'll be heading southwesterly towards Tanafa Private, climb to 7,500 feet, northwest practice area.
Northwest practice area 492 Papa is about 1.5 miles southeast of the shooting range, 4,500 northwest bound, northwest practice area.
Airplane that just called in, do you have ADS-B out?
I believe I do. This is a rental.
Yeah, you're not showing on my ADS-B receiver, so it's kind of weird. You're actually pretty close to me.
All right, what's your position approximately?
Well, you're not close. I'm over the lake doing a 360 at 4,500 also.
All right, we'll stay south of the lake. Hopefully we'll see each other.
Yeah, roger that. I'm actually just going to do one 360 and I'm headed back to Deer Valley.
All right, we'll stay out of your way.
All right, enjoy this beautiful flying weather up here, and happy 4th of July.
Thank you, you too, sir.
Hey, with the rental, maybe try turning on the nav lights. A lot of ADS-B doesn't work without the nav lights on.
All right, how's that? I got the nav lights on. Oh, yeah, I think you might be right.
Northeast practice, Aviator 77 over Pinnacle Peak, headed towards Scottsdale. Last call, Aviator 77, northeast.
Control direction of flight. Route from south, contact tower 18.4. Route from north, contact tower 120.2. Last initial contact, you have information, X-ray. Deer Valley, tower information, X-ray, 1353 Zulu, wind calm, temperature 30, dew point 12, 729er, 903. Visual approaches on use, landing runway 7 right and 7 left. No disarmament, ramps 4 and
Northwest practice area, Cessna 983 Juliet Alpha, 5,000, 4 miles to the west of the North Proving Ground, heading south, northwest.
Northwest practice area, Arizona 4589, 5 miles east of the Lake Pleasant to practice the steep turns at 6,500 northwest.
Northwest practice area, experimental 902 Alpha Lima, heading towards the shooting range, 3,800 feet, headed down. Rental that was out there, you are now showing on my ADSB, I believe.
Oh, awesome. Yeah, I turned on the nav lights. It seems to made it work properly.
Roger that. And Deer Valley Tower, experimental 902 Alpha Lima. I'm at the shooting range, inbound with X-ray, full stop landing.
Experimental 902 Alpha Lima, about tower and left base 27 left.
2 Alpha Lima, left base 7 left. So I'm still pretty far out, solid 10 miles, well, 12 miles to Deer Valley. But especially on Saturday mornings, traffic can get really heavy. So I like to let them know, give good awareness that I'm out here and coming in. That way I don't get close and they say stay out of the Class Delta.
796 Whiskey traffic ahead and to the left, departing to the north, 2,800 Archer.
Although surprisingly, there's not a lot of
Insight,
traffic out here this morning. I think people are sleeping in for the holiday and maybe the flight school is closed. We have 2 flight schools on Deer Valley Airport, and they both stay very busy. Anyways, one of them, well, they both are actually really busy. These aren't your typical mom and pop flight schools. These are busy flight schools. 300, I think 30 days a year of sunshine that look like this attracts a lot of people to get their primary flight instruction out here. It's actually much more difficult to find a true IFR day here in Phoenix than it is to find a clear day. So a lot of people like to come out here to fly. All right, mixture to full.
Whiskey number 1, runway 7 left, clear touch and go.
Clear touch and go, 7 left, 796 Whiskey.
So I'm 123 miles an hour, airspeed 115, ground speed 133, 2 airspeed, turning 2410 on the propeller. For anyone who cares, it's a Lycoming 235, carbureted. Right now I'm holding steady at 2,500 feet. Pattern altitude at Deer Valley is 2470. I'm 6 miles from the field. We'll start slowing down here in just a minute. I do like to turn base to final at about 100 miles an hour. You can slow this plane down in a hurry. I like to cross the numbers at 75. Anywhere between 75 and 85 I can put her down without bending any metal. But this plane will lose speed in a hurry if you allow it or ask it to happen. And we're going to start asking it to happen right now. So 2,300 RPM, 107 miles an hour, holding right at 2470.
Experiment 192 up Lima, runway 7 left, clear to land.
2 Alpha Lima, cleared to land, 7 left. Just about my favorite words in the whole wide world.
Good morning, Deer Valley Tower, Mooney 47 Lima Alpha 4, holding short 7 left, ready to take off.
Mooney 2947 Lima, runway 7 left, cleared for takeoff.
7 left, clear for takeoff, 47 Lima.
Mooney 2947 Lima, fly straight out until advised.
Fly straight out till advised, 47 Lima.
Time to start slowing down, Steve.
Deer Valley Tower, Bonanza 650 Quebec over Sun City West, inbound for landing with X-ray.
650 Quebec, next train approach 27 left.
Bonanza 650 Quebec, straight in, 7 left.
I am way too high. Let's put in a little bit of slip here. There we go.
Deer Valley Tower, RV 413 Juliet Hotel 3,500 over the shooting range with X-ray, landing north parking.
RV 413 Juliet Hotel, divide tower, number left face, runway 7 left.
413 Juliet Hotel, left base, runway 7 left.
$80 over the numbers. And a little bit hard on the landing, 71 miles an hour on the landing. Should be in the low 60s. I didn't spill my Coke though. So, I could get off at Alpha 8, but I'm not going to smoke my brakes.
Alright, 247 Lima, the Cessna traffic heading to your right, a little bit in front of you is going to be going northeastbound. Your right turn southbound is approved, monitor 118.4.
Monitor 118.4, 47 Lima.
796 Whiskey, runway 7 left, clear touch and go.
7 left, clear to touch and go 6 Whiskey.
Hands 2 up Lima, contact ground, good day.
2 Alpha Lima, contact ground, and hey, Happy New Year up there.
July.
I meant to say 4th of July, what's wrong with me?
I got you.
Deer Valley Ground, experimental 902 Alpha Lima, Alpha 9, North Hangar parking, please.
What's up, Lima divide ground? Taxi north parking via Alpha.
2 Alpha Lima, North Hangars via Alpha. So I'm an idiot, it's not New Year's, it's 4th of July. Da, 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 da. What a nice little flight this morning. So it looks like we got about 40 minutes of actual airtime. So probably an hour from top to bottom. Very nice flight. Very, very nice, low stress flight.
Deer Valley Ground, 2435, your entry, request south departure with X-ray.
Chicago 24350 to Valley Ground, runway 7 right, taxi via the west route.
Runway 7 right, taxi via the west route, Chicago 24350.
Man, so outside air temperature is now 104. Welcome to Phoenix in the summer. Yee-haw. And by the way, I can feel it. It feels a little bit muggy out too. Middle of July, we like to start what we call monsoon season out here. So yesterday, my wife and I went out walking our dogs about 7 o'clock in the morning, and it was the first time we really felt the humidity kicking up. By afternoon, it had burned off, but in the morning, it was muggy. But no buggies, just muggy. Dogs don't care.
Jubilee ground 6124350, it's going to be practice Jubilee 1 Nassau, departure.
24350 to Valley 1, roger.
All right, we're home.